joined today by Bruce McFadzean, newly appointed Independent Chair at Ardiden Limited. Bruce, thanks for your time.
Thank you, David. It's good to be here.
A highly experienced person in the mining industry, what have been some of your career highlights?
I think probably the largest one's been formation of Evolution through a three-way deal with Catalpa, with Jake Klein and Newcrest. So Jake had Conquest, I had Catalpa, and Newcrest had Newcrest. So I think that's turned into be a great thing for all shareholders. So it's all about shareholders at the end of the day. Other major deals I've done is several mergers, and just recently finished a joint venture with Sheffield as well.
Given your experience in the resources sector, from exploration through to project and mine development, you clearly have the pick of the bunch when it comes to looking at projects and opportunities. What work do you do before you join a board?
Well, it's all about due diligence, but I mean, when you've been here for over 40 years, you sort of know what to look for, I think, and for me, there's just a few boxes you've got to tick. One is the asset, two, it's the jurisdiction, three, it's the commodity, and the fourth one is really just a combination of whether you have access at the moment to get in and do some work, because it's all about drilling holes.
Ardiden, what jumped out at you?
Well, it ticks all those boxes actually. It's in guerrilla country, so there's a real opportunity there. I think they have a very a good quality package of land, and I think that's supported by the fact that you've got Evolution, Newmont, Barrick all around them, and it's highly prospective. It's on a similar trend to where Great Bear is to the west. So there's a huge amount of opportunity. To me, it's simple. Just get some holes in the ground. Great team, and we're very fortunate. We're in a good spot.
And drilling permits recently granted. Was that a catalyst for you to make a decision to join the board?
Yeah, look, it was. I mean, often the permitting process is long, and I've just come from a company for about 6 years, and 3 years of that was getting the permitting, getting native title, getting environmental. So it's a long, hard process, and it's not a very joyful process until you actually get to the end of it. And all credit to the board, Rob and his team, that they've been able to get to that point where I can come in now and apply a bit of my experience and my focus onto getting the holes done and getting the company well known in the industry.
And touching on that, your focus, working with the board and the management under Rob's direction, what's your focus going to be? What do you want to see as the tick boxes, if you like, from Ardiden going forward?
Well, it's several, but again, everything revolves back. It doesn't matter which way you look at this project, it all revolves back to getting some holes into some very prospective ground. 22 prospects there that are identified. God knows what'll come out when we start drilling, because there's a lot of opportunity there, and there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of old workings from a century ago sort of period. So there's a wonderful opportunity, but because you can't see it there, you have to drill it to see it, because it's not on surface. So my focus is going to be just making sure that we are drilling, we're interpreting, we're looking at our opportunities, we're evaluating our opportunities. Some opportunities you can pretty well tell straight away when you drill them whether they're going to become economic. So I think I bring that with a fairly strong mineral economics background into the analysis, so it won't be just from a geological point of view, it'll be from a mineral economics point of view as well.
Surrounded by gorillas, how big is the opportunity?
It's huge. It's almost like we're back 50 or 100 years back here, because if you go back to Western Australia as an example, in the gold sector, where we've got a greenstone belt, albeit ours runs north-south, the one that we're in Ontario, there at Pickle Lake, that's an east-west strike of the greenstone. But go back 50, 100 years and what's been discovered here, it's been huge, whereas they just haven't had the exploration. And Great Bear's a classic. I mean, we're expecting a sort of 5 to 10 million ounce initial resource, and that's the first resource, right? From a project which is, I don't know, it's about 30 or 40 kilometres from Red Lake itself. So I think the area has been identified. It's not far from Naront, where that Ring of Fire is, where BHP and Twiggy are. You know, it's a very highly prospective area, but it's not well explored. So we get that. I'm very excited, yeah. And, you know, when I look at Rob and the team, that excites me even more, because you can have the best opportunity in the world, but if you haven't got a good team to execute it, that's a problem. And so we're in a good spot there. I mean, Rob's well credentialed, Hayden Daxter's there, and Angelo and the other guys in country. And I like the way that these guys have said, we're going to set this up and we're going to do it properly. We're going to be scientific about our approach. We're going to keep the rigs moving, and I like everything that these guys are doing.
Keeping the rigs moving keeps the market excited because it keeps the news flow happening. We like an exciting project in an exciting area, but most of all, we like an excited chairman. So, Bruce, congratulations on your appointment, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Dave.